Hello students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So dear students, this is another exciting session that we have here, and in this session I'd like us to differentiate between verb phrase and adjective uh, phrase. So we are going to first of all start by looking at verb phrase, and that is again looking at some of the ways of forming a verb phrase. Then we will proceed, that is, we will move to the adjective phrase so that we see what adjective phrase are, and again give examples in sentences. So remember that a verb, dear student, is a doing word. It is a word that is used to indicate or to show an action. So we have what is called a phrase. So a phrase, this is a reminder because this is something we had tackled previously. So a phrase is a word or a group of words within a sentence that plays a particular function. So it can, play several functions in sentences, that is as a verb, as a preposition, as an adverb, and so on. So now to talk about a verb phrase, that is now joining the two words verb and a phrase. So a verb phrase is headed by or contains a verb that is usually an auxiliary verb and a main verb. So this is shown in the example that we have below. So she is going home. The auxiliary verb that we have in that sentence is, and the main verb is going. So remember, auxiliary verbs, are also referred to as helper verbs. That is, they do not play a major role in a sentence, but they are there, to ensure that the sentence is grammatically correct, and also the structure is complete. So the examples that we have, I can see you. So the auxiliary verb that we have there is can. So can is a modal auxiliary verb. And again, remember, we have two types of auxiliary verb, that is the primary auxiliary verbs and the modal auxiliary verbs. So I can see you, the auxiliary verb that we have there, without even looking at the type, there is can, then the main verb is see. I could have died. So we have, that is the modal auxiliary could, then the primary auxiliary have, and also the main verb there, died. So we would laugh a lot in those days. We have would, that is the auxiliary verb, laugh, the main verb. And lastly, another example in sentence, you should sing. So we have the auxiliary verb should, that is a modal auxiliary verb used alongside the main verb sing. So apart from the formation that we have looked at, that is the formation of a verb phrase, that is by using an auxiliary verb and a main verb, we also have other ways that we can also use to form verb phrases. So a verb phrase may also contain two main verbs following each other in a sentence. Like, let us look at the sentence that we have below. The doctor recommended cutting down the doctor recommended cutting down sugar from my diet. So in that sentence, we have two main verbs, that is recommended and cutting. So we have the verb recommend, and we have the verb cut. So that is a verb phrase that is made up of two main verbs that follow each other in a sentence. Apart from that formation, dear students, we are made to understand that some helping verbs can also function as main verbs, either as part of a verb phrase or on their own. For example, in the sentence that we have, Kenyan politics has been interesting. So in the sentence, we have two verbs, and they are helper verbs, that is has and been. So in this case, because they are the two verbs that we have, they can function as the main verbs, as part of the verb phrase, or even on their own. So if that is another thing to note, dear students, is that if a sentence is in the negative form, the verb phrase will contain the negative word not. So this is something worth noting. And to help you understand that, if you look at this sentence, that is, he does not take alcohol. So the sentence, he does not take alcohol, is in the negative form. So you realize that the verb phrase in it contain the negative word not. So the negative word not they can be written separately, like does and not, or they can be written using the contraction, that is nt doesn't. So apart from that, on to another way of forming a verb phrase is that a verb phrase may also contain an adverb. So this is usually placed between the helping verb and the main verb. That is, if we have a verb phrase containing an adverb, then the adverb is usually placed between the helping verb and the main verb. So if we look at the sentence that we are given there, AIDS is predominantly spread through irresponsible sexual behavior. So the verb phrase in that sentence is predominantly spread. So it is a verb phrase consisting of three words having an adverb placed in between the auxiliary verb is and the main verb spread. So I believe that that is super helpful. So now let us try and look at what an that is an adjective phrase is, and what it consists of. So dear students, an adjective phrase consists of one or more words, one which must be an adjective. So they have more than one words. But the thing is, the main thing is that an adjective must be part of those words. So if you look at the example that we have there, most girls like bright clothes. Most girls like bright clothes. So we have got an adjective there, that is bright, and remember, bright is an adjective of color, and it is followed by a noun, and the noun that we have there is cloth. So bright cloth there is our adjective phrase, and just like we say that it must consist, that is, it must have an adjective, we have got an adjective there, bright. So if there are more words, then the most important is the adjective, and the rest would be modifiers. That is, we will only use them to provide more information about the adjective. For example, our classroom is very clean. So apart from that, we have another example. Is this too high? So in those two sentences, we have very clean, and in the following sentence, we have too high. So the rest of them there are used as modifiers, that is to provide more information about the adjective itself. So the modifier is usually an adverb of degree, such as very, quite, to, etc. So dear students, that brings us to the end of the session, and I believe that you have gained something. Until next time, bye. Remember to always keep it easy, Alim.